Hello, everyone. I hope you had a wonderful New Year's Eve. It is New Year's Day now. It is a new year. 2026 is here. So we're going to be talking about cost of living and affordable living for seniors. Are we going to make it through 2026 without being homeless, without going broke? I don't know. So I received my cost of living adjustment, COLA. Yes, the other day I got my paperwork, and it showed that my Social Security went up by 2.8%. So that raised me extra. I have an increase of $39 to my Social Security. Nice, right? But then I looked at inflation, and inflation is up by 2.68%. Is the cost of living keeping up with inflation? Not really, because the cost of groceries has risen, the cost of housing has risen, the cost of purchasing a car has risen, and the income is just not keeping up with that. And it just makes me think about, as we get older and inflation keeps going and cost of living is just not able to keep up with it, are seniors going to have an affordable way to live? I mean, it's hard already, being a senior and trying to manage your money. You have to downsize, or you have to have two incomes, or you have to move in with family. Oh my gosh. I would be miserable if I had to move in with my family at this stage in my life, because I'm still very active, But some people have to do that. And affordable living for a senior, right now, if you were to move into an affordable living situation, it would be 30% of your adjusted gross income that they use to determine how much money you pay for rent. So say you bring in $1,500 a month. 30% of that would be about $450 a month that you would pay in rent. That would be doable, but then you'd have to find the affordable living. You'd have to hopefully have a decent place to live where it's not, run down, or it's not a lot of rules and all of that stuff. The best thing that you can do when you're getting ready to retire, or you're getting older, is to downsize. To make sure that you are going to be able to maintain your lifestyle, maintain your living. Because if I had not moved to this trailer, mobile home, whatever you call it, I don't know what I would do. Because I was paying about $1,100 a month for rent in an apartment. And there was no affordability about it or anything. I was just another tenant there, Age didn't matter. And that was 5 years ago. And I got out of there before I retired, because I knew once I get on that fixed income, there's no way I would be able to stay in that apartment. And I wouldn't have any money left over. Oh my gosh, it would be terrible. And now people who are older and they have their own home, they have to think about, is this home something that I can maintain? Because that's another thing. As you get older, it's more difficult to maintain your living space, because you just don't have the energy to clean like you used to. And the more rooms you have, the more you have to clean. I have, my bedroom, bathroom, I have probably 4 rooms in this house to clean. The kitchen, the living room, the spare bedroom, my bedroom, and the bathroom. So I've got like 5 rooms in a sense to clean. And sometimes that can be overwhelming depending on what all I have to do. So, as a senior, it can be very, very difficult to maintain affordable living for yourself. And then when you think about some people, they're living in their cars, they're living in shelters, they're living on the street, tent city. And where I live, I do see some homeless people. And I remember looking off of the freeway and I saw a bunch of tents. And I was like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. People are living down there in a tent. You know, that's so sad to me that you have to. But then a lot of times, you know, people can make their own decisions if they're in the right mind. Now, we have a lot of seniors who may have mental issues that cause them to not think about anything, or they may have addictions where that causes them to not care about where they live. But, you know, with the cost of living, inflation, affordable living for seniors, it's tough. It's really tough. I mean, and you think about it. If you don't have a mental issue, you don't have addiction issues, you just have money issues, that's bad too. Because we as seniors need to be able to live our life out in a good way, not constantly struggling. You know, we worked our whole life and then all of a sudden we get older and now all that hard work we did was for nothing. Because what you get is all you get. And it's sad. It's really sad. And just remember, all seniors are not prepared for living alone. And you may have to adjust your living to move in with family or have a roommate. But if you're simply living and you're enjoying it, it's okay. Peace over money is a good way to live. I mean, you may have to do things to enhance your income, such as food banks. You may even have to do ride share, getting rid of your car. If it's costing you extra money, such as maintenance, insurance, and it's just extra money and you hardly ever drive, it's probably best to get rid of your car. Affordable living for seniors is doable, but you have to have the right mindset to do it. You have to downsize. You have to make every penny stretch. Now, I know a lot of times as we are growing up or getting older, we think of the luxury and relaxation of growing into our senior years, retiring, where we get to do like we see on the commercials where you're traveling all the time, going to different resorts and beaches and countries. But when you're on a fixed income and that's all you have to be very careful of what you are spending your money on. But it's a crazy, crazy world we live in where you work all your life and then when it gets down to the last years of your life, you just, you're still struggling. That's so sad. But we can do this. We can do this. The cost of living is not always keeping up with inflation. So we just have to keep up with inflation by not being reckless with our money. That's pretty much what it all comes down to. So in 2026, let's do better as far as what we do with our money. Let's not spend money frivolously. Let's enjoy as much of the income we have and just live in a comfortable, peaceful, joyful life. That'll cover everything. If we can just be at peace in our life, able to wake up with a smile every day and get through each day, like, we can create our own peaceful life. That's all I can say. We can really increase our own peaceful life, our joyful life. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If something resonated with it, go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hype this video up so it can get out to others. And hopefully 2026 can be a much better year for us all. You guys take care. See you in the next video. Bye.